I'm going to give you 3 reasons why you don't have to settle for the X5. This is a 2025 BMW X6 xDrive40i in black sapphire metallic over black extended merino leather. We have a ton of upgrades in this vehicle, in which it could put you into an M60i. I'm Anthony from Hawkeye Rides. It starts off with 0.2 inches of clearance less than the X5. The front is going to look dynamic, and it keeps the SUV styling with the LED headlights and daytime runnings. This is with the Shadowline lights because we have the M Sport Package Pro that integrates into the M Sport Professional Package kidney grille. That's going to be around $1,700, which you can tick the box whether you like it or not. It's an active grille shutter either way with the matte black that's going to surround it. The lower is getting the front parking sensors with the air vents on the side, and it looks super aggressive when you're considering this is a base trim, just featured up. Now with this, we have the 360-degree reverse camera. That's part of the Park Assist Professional Package, which also gives you a front camera whenever you're using car wash, so that way you can see the trajectory, you don't scratch the wheels, because we do have upgraded wheels as well. Thinking about that X5, you're gonna have the same power option. This is the B58, the 3.0 liter BMW twin power turbo straight 6. That's producing 375 horsepower with 398 pound-feet of torque, and that's paired to a ZF 8-speed automatic transmission, achieving 23 mpgs for the city, 26 mpgs for the highway. The X6 is only in an all-wheel drive configuration, no xDrive40i here, like you can get on the X5. And that's going to reach 60 the same time at 5.2 seconds with a top speed between 130 and 155 miles per hour. Now, saying some updates, we got these 22-inch staggered wheels. It's a 275/35 up front with a 315/30 out back. M-brake calipers housing 6 pistons in the front. Now, with this power option, you don't need to tick the box for that, but it makes it look a lot more aggressive, especially with these gloss black 22-inch wheels. But because this is not an M60i, I would say you could not tick the box for that, save a couple grand. The wheels, I would go that way. The illuminated kidney grille probably would knock that off. So you're around $4,000 or $5,000 of savings there. Going against comparable rivals like Mercedes-Benz, you're going to be spending more money, and this is going to be quicker, better weight distribution. This is nearly a perfect 50-50 weight distribution, and the style to this is going to be a little bit more of that fastback design lifted up. The way BMW does their dynamics, it's literally like a sports car, but it's an SUV, so you get the best of both worlds. And going into Audi, the same thing. You spend more money, which is a con to me, because even in BMW, when you go X6 opposed to X5, it's a few grand more to get this coupe style for the rear, which you're losing some cargo. You are still getting the same towing capacity at 7,200 pounds, but it's still less than the competition. The first reason why I would option this opposed to the X5, though, it looks a lot more aggressive on a base trim compared to the X5, in which you would want to go into the M60i. You're going to be spending right at 6 figures. This is in the $80,000 price point. Standard LED taillights with a trunk lid spoiler. I like how they kind of give you this 2 trunk lid starting from the roofline going into the actual trunk, helping with downforce. The lower with dual exhaust finishers, the diffuser, reverse parking sensors, the side air vents to keep that aggressive style in the rear. Now, a con to me is the bumper kind of comes outwards, in which it also sits upwards more so than the X5. So whenever you're loading anything in, you will be hitting that quite a bit. So I would recommend putting maybe a clear brawl back here so you don't scratch it up, because I can see that happening. And because of the way it's chopped off, this is more of a unique look. Some people don't like the coupe style. They like the traditional box. So it's nice that they option 2 different variants. I just wish that they would change the performance, because this is going to look a lot more aggressive than a standard X5, and you're getting the same performance numbers. But then when you go back to the rivals like Mercedes and Audi, hands down, this is going to be faster than both of them, and you're going to get a savings going into the X6. Power liftgate going into 27.4 cubic feet, which is 6.5 cubic feet less than the X5. It's going to sit up because of the coupe design. And the privacy cover, you can fold it up. Underneath the floor, gets a spare tire. We have a 12-volt with a bag holder. But unfortunately, to maximize the cargo to 59.6, you have to go into the back to fold them down. That's going to be 12.7 cubic feet less than the X5. But you're also expecting that because of the coupe design. Let's go inside, start it up so you can hear that exhaust note. Way power seat adjustment, extended merino leather, heated front seats, and armrest is part of the climate control package, as well as the ventilated front seats, memory for the driver. So if you're considering the X5, you might want to look at the X6 because headroom's not an issue, nor is leg space. It is a driver-focused setup. X6 badging that illuminates with the ambient lighting. We have the wood inlays, SensaFin for the dashboard. The premium package adds the heads-up display, the Harman Kardon, and the gesture control. The 360-degree reverse camera with the backup assist is part of the parking assist package. You can see full trajectory for the front and the rear. Click the more, and you have the 3D view, so you can toggle all around. And because you have the gesture, it just makes it a little bit more simplified, so you don't have to touch any of the bullets there on the side. And you can also use the iDrive to go all around the vehicle. Quad climate control is part of the climate control package. The wood inlays open up into a wireless charging pad, USB 12 volt, the key fob for the X6. And the digital key. One kind I have right off the bat is the cup holders, because if you put a cup there, it's going to be hard to reach for your phone or even your glasses or anything in there. So it really closes off this whole area. But let me know what you think about that. Gloss black and the wood inlays come into play with the driver mode select, which you have the sport mode, sport plus, and you can configure it to make it as sport derived as you like. It is soft to touch, opens up as a medium storage pocket with a USB port. Leather wrap steering wheel, multi-function. It is M spec. With the paddle shifts, and the gauge cluster can go through an array of content for the driver in the center. And you can also change out the heads-up display layout, as well as changing out the whole layout for the gauge cluster, except in sport mode. You will not be able to do that. It will just take that completely off. Another cool thing is when you put it into sport mode, the ambient lighting changes into this red, and then it'll change it to like a blue for comfort and a lighter blue or a dull blue for eco. A large pano moonroof, auto dimming rear view mirror, LED interior lights, dashboard door configure in together. And you're going to keep that sport design with the ambient lighting. It's going to be a little bit more sporty, one touch up and down for all the windows, and a long storage pocket with the beverage holder carved out and a little hidden storage for the driver. You have storage behind both of the front seats with USB ports behind both of the front seats, air vents, the dual climate control, heated rear seats because of the climate control package. And there's another USB there with the storage and a 12 volt cup holders. This opens up. You can put a couple of cell phones in there or maybe an iPad. Close that up for a minute. And the door is going to have the ambient lighting, the same materials found in the front with the wood inlays, and basically the same size storage. So if you're thinking, I got to go X5, you may want to test drive this because you can see feet space, you'll share a little. It's a wide vehicle. Leg, butt, and shoulder space not going to be an issue, and standard all-wheel drive on all trims. And headroom, I can still fit. Now this is going to get a 0 to 60 at 5.2 seconds according to BMW. The M60i unlocks 4.2 seconds with rear axle steering and the S68 twin turbo V8 engine. But this should be enough power. Let's check it out. That straight 6 just opens up. Near 50-50 weight distribution is awesome when it comes to BMWs. And I know I say it a lot in my reviews, but the reason why is that's typically car specs, not SUVs that have over 8 inches of clearance that can take corners and bends in the road. Let's open her up. M-Sport brakes, you don't have to worry there. It feels like a car lifted up. that is key to the X6. I'm a huge fan of the X5, don't get me wrong, but this just feels a little bit more dynamic. Check out the exit. The windows are large, but it doesn't look that way on the exterior. 22-inch wheel upgrade. You don't really feel it in the drive. BMW's liven up on the curvy roads like I always say in my reviews. And this is where you want to just kind of play with it a little bit. Open it up. So that way you could really see the performance coming out. Because when you're putting the numbers in perspective, it's over 5,000 pound curb weight, 375 horsepower. It doesn't sound like a lot. We did get a bump a couple years back, and we did get an LCI as well recently. So what you have is a total package that is quite a bit of power. Going into the M60i is going to give you the M Sport suspension, and the seats are going to actually be more comfortable than the M Competition, as well as the ride, because it's going to be a lot more rigid. And going back to the comparison against the X5, you still get the same comfort here, but you're getting that styling element, which you don't really see a lot of X6 on the road. You see a ton of X5. Put it into comfort mode. You can still kind of hear the straight six turbocharged twin scroll turbo engine, which is great. Sound deadening is good. Could be a little bit better. I feel the X5 is going to be a little bit more superior there. And the interior is basically the same, except changing the badging in the headroom. Legroom's going to be a little bit more cramped here than the X5. But the second reason why I would choose this over the X5, feels a little smaller and quicker, even though it's the same exact numbers, 0 to 60 in top speed. As a daily drive vehicle, it feels good. It doesn't feel that wide, nor that long. And to maneuver in and out of lanes, the steering is ultra light, and it lightens up as you change the driving mode, so it can be even more light or a little bit more sporty, but it's still not going to be as sporty as some of the older generations of the X6. Standard all-wheel drive, that definitely ticks the box too, because when you're thinking about the X5, that's going to add a few grand of a premium just to get that with the vehicle. You don't have to worry about it here. You only have 3 trims to choose from. They're all wheel drive. When you go up to the M60i, that's the sweet spot, but you will be more in the 6-figure price or right at it, especially once you add some of the features in which we have here. It's going to take me to the pros and cons. You've heard a ton of the pros, so we're going to just skip into the cons. I would like to see more horsepower because you are paying more money on an MSRP, even though you're getting standard all-wheel drive. The interior, I kind of wish that they changed it up a touch, maybe in the back. Not so much in the front, because I think BMW done a good job, but that way it has a different image, because I don't want it to be exactly the same. I am losing 6 to over 12 cubic feet of cargo capacity, and yet the interior is really about the same layout. I don't like the auto start stop, but that's not a feature I like on any of the BMWs, because it literally will just turn off before you come to a stop, and then it re-engages from that 48 volt mild hybrid technology for the vehicle, which can be a pro and con for some people. Another con is you have to add features in which I feel that because of the premium price, some of the features should be standard on the X6, because you're already paying more money than the X5. But as for rival perspective, every vehicle that it competes with is going to be more expensive, especially when you go into that coupe design for the rear of the vehicle. Unless you go into a total box, you're going to be spending a few grand more. Turn radius is about 2 lanes. Let's rock and roll. And if you're worried about turbo lag, you don't really have to worry about it so much with this straight six. BMW does a great job on the low end and going even faster in higher speeds. It just continuously wants to go. So you don't have to necessarily option the M60i to get 523 horsepower. That is the best because it's a twin turbo V8. But this will be efficient. Taking me to the last reason why I would choose this over the X5 is it feels so much more like a car and a little bit more playful. Even though the X5 is awesome, it's just a little bit more unique when you go into the X6. But let me know your thoughts in the comments, and if you're new to the channel, consider subscribing. Check out the next video, merchandise, website, and Instagram.